Yo, what's up, y'all? Today we'll be looking at people are dying from the Hatana, the virus. Well, I don't know how to say it. I don't know. I don't know how this one's pronounced. So I'm saying it's Fanta and then Hanta. Yeah, the Hantavirus. That's what we're gonna call it. But anyways, we're gonna get into this. I was gonna originally make a different type of video for this one, but I'm gonna just react to this one just to kind of push it out there quicker. That this is a this is out there. Also, because my mom's currently on the cruise. If you have this, don't come back for the next 3 months. Anyways, let's get into it.
This furry little fella that we see on our screens right now just killed 3 people. I know that sounds shocking, but it's true actually.
You know, when you... Sorry, there was just like a bug in front of me I was just trying to like get rid of. It's in my space somewhere here floating. I can't see because everything's black. But it's crazy that like it's the smallest things that release the like most dangerous things on the world. Like with the, if I'm pretty sure, like the virus, we'll call it the big 2020, right? Was yeah, I got it. Yeah. Hold on. Let me go get some hand sanitizer real quick. Good thing I have some right here. I just gotta keep it at my desk. But it's crazy to me, like the smallest things, like bats, rats, and stuff, be carrying the most dangerous things on them. Like what came from monkeys? Was it HIV? I forgot what it was, but it was like, it's just like we always get the craziest things.
Well, not specifically this rodent. I just wanted to show you this pygmy rice rat has been suspected and linked to something what we now know is called the Hantavirus, which has killed 3 people and have gotten 5 to 6 more people on a particular
Yeah, this is crazy. Where was it?
Particular ship sick. According to multiple reports, they say passengers on board the cruise ship that has a suspected hantavirus outbreak where 3 people have died and 5 to 6 people are sick cries out as the ship remains near Cape Verde. Hantavirus is a rare but serious illness usually spread through contact with rodents or their waste.
So sounds like somebody's not regulating something correctly on the ship. If it comes in contact with rodents, instead of I came in contact with a rodent, so their waste. So they're putting their waste on their food, because I think that's probably how they got it. I don't know yet, but yeah.
Additionally, what I've been able to learn, this virus is basically spread, I think, airborne via rat urine, feces, or their saliva. Typically, if in closed environments, and rats, they can crawl in tiny spaces, and or ventilation systems where they poo, they pee, they eat. The dry particulates of their byproduct, their waste, can then be mixed in with dust, then spray that out for ventilation, and humans can breathe that in. Unfortunately, it is a very deadly virus. You have like a 50%.
Now, luckily, my mother's not on this cruise, thankfully. But it is horrible timing for when you see this. You went on this cruise as this is happening. Like, just know I'm gonna have trust issues for a little bit, but it's gonna be all love.
And chance of living or dying, I would not want to catch it, which is why they were holding off on even allowing these people to board or dock anywhere. But I believe, last I heard, they're slowly letting these people off onto land now and trying to...
Okay, by this point, I think the ship has been docked, so I think everybody has been dang, why am I brain farting? I think everybody has been like taken off, even including the people that are what is it? Infected. Dang. It's been a crazy day today, let me tell you that. But I think I don't know what they did with the people that are infected, but I think they're being quarantined right now. I don't know, but that's just my guess.
Take very serious precautions as to how to handle this. And of course, someone said, sink the ship immediately. Yeah, I think that's a bit too serious, but you never know. And the kind of scary thing about this is a passenger on the MV Honidus, I believe it's called, which is it's basically a polar Antarctic expedition ship where, you know, rich people, not too rich, but $10,000 to $15,000 per ticket. I think they loop around South America to head on over to Antarctica on these polar expeditions. Well, a passenger from the cruise ship, kind of a small cruise ship, about I think 75 passengers or so. He came out speaking about his experience, and so far, by the way, 3 people have died. The first person to die was a 70-year-old. He caught the virus, long, excruciating, I think painful, slow death, and then his wife died in South Africa.
So this shit like the plague. Yeah, this one bad. This one might be worse than the big 2020.
Where they managed to dock, I believe, or allow her to hop off the ship, get medical attention, and she died. And then I believe a third person died who was a staff member. But anyway, here is his experience. Here is what he has to say.
I normally wouldn't make a video like this, but I feel like I need to say something, so I wrote a few things down. I am currently on board the MV Hondius. And what's happening right now is very real for all of us here. We're not just a story.
This is crazy.
We're not just headlines.
Okay, real quick, because I did not know why the subtitles randomly turned on. But this is actually how I found out about it. But sadly, it wasn't a video like this. Like, hold on, let me get this over here real quick.
We're not just a story.
I don't know if you can hear, but if you can't, but you'll get the...
Let's do things differently this time.
Oh, I didn't...
So different.
Hold on. Here we
We're
go.
not just a story. We're not just headlines.
I'm hoping y'all can hear it.
People with families, with lives.
Like, it was this. And, like, people... Let me say, people on TikTok be like... people on TikTok are ruthless. Like, I do sympathize with, like, yeah, you know, you got families, but, you know, truthfully, at the same time, hey, we got families, too. But y'all gotta be cleared first. It's not like y'all are just shunned from society. You just gotta be patient as it. Cause we're not trying to have another big, you know, big 2020. And we still barely recovered from that.
We're people.
Guys, read between the lines. He's making this just in case he dies, because apparently they were saying the ship was gonna stay out there in the, I guess, in the ocean and sea waters for a month. I don't think that's happening, right? I think there's...
Okay, now that I did not know. That's actually crazy.
Slowly letting people off the ship, taking extreme precautions. But of course, since this thing has like a 40 to 50% survival rate, you know, I guess this is kind of like his last will.
People with families, with lives, with people waiting for us at home. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part.
Jesus.
All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity,
I thought this was one of the
and
people
to
that was
get home.
infected.
So if you're seeing
So I guess
coverage
not.
about this, just remember that there are real people behind it, and that this isn't something happening somewhere far away.
Right.
It's happening to us right now. I'll share more when I can, but for now,
All right.
I just ask for your kindness and understanding.
So guys, a lot of countries were aware of this, and they just did not want these people to dock. They're also saying that,
Which is valid. Like, now the staying on sea for 1 month is crazy. That I don't agree with. But I mean, first things first, because we don't know what we're dealing with yet. So we just gotta make sure see what happens, and then start problem solving, and then get everybody off one by one before we know who is clear and then who isn't. And then once we get all the good people off, we're gonna evacuate the other people in different ways. Like, I mean, that should be, I think that's pretty understandable. Like, hey, yo, there's people on here that is, like, spreading basically something like a plague. So, you just got, hey, be patient, but we're going to get you off. We going to get you right. We're going to get you right. So, but if they was truly going to do that, that is crazy.
this was picked up somewhere in South America, specifically around Argentina, although I think epidemiologists, these people who study the transmissions of viruses, correct me if I'm wrong, are saying they're kind of in debate about what part of Argentina this virus, this Hantavirus.
Okay, and this is off topic. I know for these past few videos, I've been eating food. I've been trying to keep up with the schedule, but I've been kind of a little bit late, so I've been trying to eat food without starving myself. So, just letting y'all know, feel free to get some food, you know? Get your YouTube food. That's all.
Virus, possibly spreaded by the pygmy rice mat, was picked up on. But yeah, it's from one of these rats, these pygmy mice rats. As you can see, Google says there's small nocturnal rodents in the genus I can't read that. Found throughout Central and South America in diverse habitats such as forests, scrublands, and agricultural fields, right? They are solitary, mainly terrestrial, feed on seeds and insects, and can be agricultural pests, right? All right, so rats, mice. And you know, people are now saying things like, I looked into that cruise ship outbreak and bro, I will be watching how that'll be handled like a hawk, because one slip up and it's another pandemic for all of us. I don't think that'll happen. Although, you know, we always think it won't happen to us until it does. Other people are saying all eyes on this hantavirus outbreak. It's not looking good. One person, Greg, said, so should I start buying toilet paper, you know, in reference.
Okay, now that I'm doing that. That toilet paper mess was horrible. Don't get me wrong, I was going through school when this happened, so it's not like I had to buy any. But I was always hearing on the news how bad it was. I mean, we all heard. Like, it really was getting crazy.
So the cold,
which is crazy also because I don't even think, well, no, probably by now they've used all the toilet paper. But there were still so many people that, like, bought, like, tons of toilet paper. I was about to say there's no way that they probably still have some of it. But if it's like things like these, no, they definitely use that.
COVID coronavirus era. They also say just in Switzerland detects hantavirus in MV Hondius passenger hospitalized in Zurich after onboard outbreak alert. So I'm not sure if this was like a random person from a previous expedition and or a person who was let off that specific ship. Here, as we can see, is the MV Hondius. Basically, by the way, this company, I believe they have a history of expeditions, scientific research, and now they're in the business of selling tickets to just regular people who want to go on polar expeditions around South America and into Antarctica. And of course, in the comment section, people say give it a month and this hantavirus would have spread all across.
First of all, that does not say hanta. Bro, hentai is a crazy misspelling.
Across the globe, an active outbreak alert, and they still let passengers off the ship. Those people are on connecting flights right now. Of course, people, I don't know about the validity of them being on connecting flights. I doubt they would allow that to happen.
I do want to ask, do y'all think we'll go into another quarantine? My friend said that it's not going to happen. I don't know if he was serious or he's just like trying to be like, oh, it's not going to happen. But the thing is, I do think it's not really going to happen because of how cautious people are, especially after the other one. So I think it's probably going to spread way less, especially with what everything's going on in the world. I think it is going to spread less quicker, and it might actually like get shut out faster. But especially with how people are trying to already treat this, then I don't know how much is actually going to
if we assume, you know, this isn't calculated. Listen, I'm not getting into any conspiracies here. I'm just saying, based off of I think the transmission rate, I think they call it the R0 of contagion. They're saying it's below 2, so the contagion rate is not that high, and the lethality of it, they're saying is pretty high. But it's just crazy how allegedly, supposedly, one little rodent can cause so much damage. Like, good God. New York Post here says cruise ship infected with terrifying hantavirus strain that has 40% mortality rate, which is great. 40% is crazy. I understand why nobody wants to take the risk. World Health Organization, but
40% isn't that crazy. As of right now, it's not that crazy because it's 3 people, I think, right? 3 people. So 40% isn't that crazy because you're only counting 3 people. But if it was to be like worldwide, it says 40%. That's actually crazy.
Believes here's what happens next. Again, it's not looking too good. 40% mortality is crazy. And just for reference, the mortality rate, or IFR, for COVID is like 0.05%, which is 0.5%, which is 1 in 2,000 people.
Which is still because there's more people. And the hantavirus is, if it's 40, it's only been 3 people. I'm just saying.
Well, just for reference,
it's not
this virus is what, like 40 times that. Anyway, New York Post says health officials believe a rare strain of hantavirus that spreads from person to person and has a 40% mortality rate is responsible for the outbreak on the MV Hondius cruise ship that has killed 3 passengers and sickened 7 others. And this is the ship right here. They say, though hantavirus is typically only spread through rodent droppings, this particular strain is an alarming exception because this is a first, I think, of its case historically, and it's one that can't be ruled out. I was doing a little digging last night. They say this is the first time something like this in this specific way has happened. So that we're in uncharted territory here. And I believe this is a closer shot of the ship right here. An official said, we do believe that there may be some human-to-human transmission that is happening among the really close contacts. They also say the exceptional strain, the Andes virus or Andes virus, is only found in the mountains of Argentina.
Is that what it's called?
In Chile. The MV Hondius started its weeks-long voyage in Argentina on March 20th, but not in an area where that strain is usually found. Understand the language here. Usually found. They say the Andes Hantavirus strain carries a mortality rate of nearly 40%, meaning a worst-case scenario could spiral quickly in a confined environment such as the 80-cabin, 353-foot ship with roughly 150 people on board, so it's double what I thought initially. The terrifying strain seemed even more likely after the World Health Organization said no rodents were found on board the vessel. That's crazy. That, holy shit. See, that type of stuff, when I hear scared.
Hold on, let me go back a bit, because maybe I wasn't.
Double what I thought initially. The terrifying strain seemed even more likely after the World Health Organization said no rodents were found on board the vessel. That's crazy. That, holy shit. See, that type of stuff, when
I mean, can you truly say it's not that? I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm just saying, can you truly like base it off of that? Because remember, this is a cruise, and you got to look in every like nook and cranny. Like you basically have to dismantle the ship to make sure you don't find something that look this small. So
I hear scares me because you find no rodents on board. Were there any droppings? But, you know, where did this come from? Surely they had to have found something. They can't just find people sick with no evidence of them being sick from something on board, unless this came from mainland and then spread it from human contact to human contact. Here we have some,
which makes sense. So I might, if there comes more information and there's not nothing really react to before I can put it out, I still might put out that full.
Some screenshots of the place on board. Yeah, clearly people are scared. They're in their cabins. Yeah. Here's some footage I just found on TikTok from a news publication.
Of the cruise ship currently hit by a hantavirus outbreak looks like. This footage was taken by a passenger on board the MV Hondius in December 2025. About 150 people are currently stuck on the ship, which left Argentina in April for Cape Verde, and a number of passengers have been infected by the rodent spread virus.
Okay, so to clarify, this was filmed in December of 2025. So this is just a video inside someone has filmed, just to show what the inside of the ship looks like.
A Dutch couple and a German national have died, and a UK national was evacuated from the ship and is in intensive care in South Africa. 3 other passengers with suspected hantavirus are now en route to the Netherlands. A man in Switzerland who was travelling on the MV Hondius but left his trip from South America at the end of April is also in hospital with the virus.
So it is spreading. But where again, real quick?
And now en route to the Netherlands. A man in Switzerland who was travelling on the MV Hondius but left his trip from South America at the end of April is also in hospital with the virus.
So my suspicions were right. This guy actually was on the same expedition, the same ship, but he left earlier in the trip. Okay, so apparently where they left the trip, they left from St. Helena, which is a remote volcanic island in the South Atlantic Ocean. And just for reference, St. Helena is right here. Pretty remote, not gonna lie, but you can see it's between South America and off the coast of Africa, right? And this is a polar expedition, right? This is typically the route needed to reach Antarctica, of course, which is like at the bottom of the earth, South Pole, right? And they're saying the hantavirus may have been picked up somewhere around this area, Argentina. I mean, listen, man, I hope this really doesn't turn into something major, you know, because we don't need another multinational lockdown, global lockdown, although I don't think it'll get that far, but if it does.
See, I don't think it would either, but there's still always that chance. There's still a percent. But, that's crazy. I do think this is good. I feel like this is going to go out like how. Now, I don't think Ebola was as bad, but remember, everybody was going crazy about it. But I think it stayed relatively in one spot, and then it just kind of fizzled from the media.
In some way, shape, or form, right? And people get scared. Guys, just stock up. You know, I'm not here to fearmonger. I'm not here to cause any panic because I don't want to do that for anybody. But, you know, better safe than sorry, I guess. You know.
So in hospital with the virus. Robert Viguero, who took this footage during a trip in December, said he had no issues with cleanliness on board, adding the cabins and bathrooms were clean daily, and the common areas were also very clean.
So I don't
Okay, so yeah, it probably came from when they got on land or something. That's probably where it came from, and then got onto the cruise. But it's just crazy if you think about it, because there's still other people like there in that area. So did they just not get it, and y'all just happen to be the unlucky ones?
Clearly, this is not the issue of
Then
the
I
ship.
guess they say something
Clearly,
else.
this is an anomaly. Sure. But listen, biology, epidemiology, viruses, Mother Nature self-corrects all the time. It's just, this world is full of very random genetic events that happen all the time. Mutations occur all the time. It just goes unseen until a human comes in contact with it, and it's compatible with our DNA, and you know the rest. Someone said in the comment section, though, being broke saved me again. And another person said, stay safe, don't dock, and be healthy. By the way, these were from 4 or 5 hours ago. So this is just a continuing, developing, story that a lot of people are now becoming aware of. And guys, here's this video I want to show you.
Things are moving fast for the passengers aboard
This
the
expert here.
MV Hondius. For those people who are sick with Hantavirus and those who are desperately hoping that they are not, the World Health Organization just told me that the 3 sick but living passengers will be airlifted off the ship by helicopter by the end of day today. They're believed to have Hantavirus, and this is the same virus that killed 3 other people on that boat in the past days. But first, we need to understand what kind of ship that they were on, that they are on. The Hondius isn't your average cruise liner. This is a polar expedition vessel and operated by Oceanwide Expeditions. It's purpose-built to take really hardcore wildlife enthusiasts to the most remote corners of the planet.
Exactly.
Antarctica.
And as I said before, each ticket for this expedition, $10,000 to $15,000, not normal. The average person can't spend a third of their yearly salary on a ticket. Clearly, this is skewed towards the wealthy or the retired.
Up to St. Helena, one of the most isolated islands on this planet. You can think of whales, dolphins, penguins, seabirds, up close and personal and in the wild. Ann Lindstrom, the WHO representative in Cape Verde, told me this may be where it all started. She says her educated guess is that passengers were exposed to the virus off of the ship in those remote landings, in those wild environments where rodents carrying hantavirus live undisturbed until people disturb them. Then back on board the Hondius, the first symptoms started appearing in early April. Fever, gastrointestinal issues, then turned into pneumonia and respiratory failure. 3 people we know are now dead, and now the 3 being airlifted.
I just want to point out that wasn't my sound effect before anybody says that wasn't me.
Will be flown to the Netherlands. 1 is Dutch, and the ship itself will then sail to the Canary Islands, which Lindstrom told me has experience handling hantavirus cases. Now, as for those 140-ish passengers and the crew who are still on board, Lindstrom also told me that they could be stuck for up to 8 weeks on board, because that is the full incubation window for hantavirus.
So I thought that was just a rumor. 8 weeks. What is that? 2 months? Holy shit. I heard initially a month. Now this guy from ABC is saying
2 months? Mother, please be okay. I love you. But don't come in contact with me. But luckily you're not on this cruise, so we good.
He spoke to the World Health Organization, an expert. Told him that 8 weeks, that's awfully long. I guess they're going to transport supplies and water and food to the ship while it remains just, I guess, floating in the ocean.
That's basically 8 weeks of just not knowing what's going to happen. We've already seen the video from that one travel blogger who was teary and stressed out. You can really feel it. But before the internet here tells you this is why they would never cruise, Lindstrom was clear to me. No rodents have been found on the Hondius. She says the ship has traps and that hantavirus is not COVID. It doesn't spread person to person in the way that COVID does. And then I asked her directly, is this a pandemic level threat? And she said, it's not.
It's not. Okay. Well, guys, what do you think?
See? That gives hope. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think it's going to spread. Now, is it serious? I think it's serious right now, yes. But if it's saying if it doesn't spread person to person, then that's extremely good. So it's probably just well, I mean, I feel like there's still a way it could be spread to somebody else. But I guess it's just more unlikely that it's not person to person. So I think, we good.
crazy story here. I don't know what to think. I don't want to exaggerate and blow something up that it's not, or make things bigger than it appears to be. But of course, always take precautions. Knowing that some guy who didn't know he was infected was on a plane and actually was on board with other people moving through airports, and we know how virus spread. We know how viruses spread. Just be careful. Be sort of wary if you're in these regions, and yeah, take care of your health. This is a developing story.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, I mean, just crazy things going on, man. I feel like when it comes to like 2020 and after, we just can't get a break. Like, not at all. Like, I feel like there's always something escalating every single year. Like, I don't think we've had a year where it's just been like chill. Like, we're just relaxed. No, we've always been on like what's gonna happen next? It's gonna get worse. It can't get worse than this, and then it gets worse. So it's just like dang. But anyways, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell, and hey, comment, keep focused. You know, I want to appreciate all y'all for still, viewing. A lot of y'all are starting to like, stick around and watch a lot more, and I appreciate that. So, if you're coming from the shorts, this is your first long time video, keep running it up. Keep running it up. But I'm going to try to have more of these videos out for you. I'm at least going to try to have a video out at least a day. I think I can maintain that. And then on Wednesdays, I'll make it to where you get 2 episodes a day. So, appreciate that. I love y'all for coming out. Be safe. And until next time. Hold on. I don't want to have a mess up like last time. Alright, until next time. See ya.